If you are a renter and you need a quick solution to fix your counters, let me tell you how to do it. It's
very important.
You do this only if necessary. Contact papering your countertops, immediately very rewarding. Long term, to get it off is gonna be difficult for you. I know
everyone's doing the contact paper right now,
but be positive and think of other changes you can do with your decor.
Why you booing me? I'm right.
Instead of trying to just cover everything in contact paper. I know you want to, but just be careful. That being said, sometimes it's necessary. If you cannot afford to replace and you need a quick fix, if you have red paint or something all over it, or a big scratch or a big crack, this might satisfy you. I'll give you an example of when I had no choice. Behold, my old apartment.
No.
The countertop, that was completely painted.
Black.
One should never paint their laminate countertops. So my next choice was to either A, repaint it again black and let that, chip some more and get all thick and weird, or B, cover that up with contact paper. I opted for a wood look. I wanted like a butcher block. I must say the wood very forgiving. Because the wood has straight lines, you can overlap the paper a little bit, whereas a design like
Marble.
it's gonna be really noticeable, especially if you're doing row after row. You have to make sure the veins are gonna line up. So marble, I think, is a
Tricky one.
I know everyone wants to do it, but I really recommend butcher block type of look in white, in gray, in brown, in dark brown. Just think about it. In hindsight, some strong sealant that works well on plastic would be a great solution to maintaining the countertops for a long time, because once you put in this work and you like how it looks, you're gonna want it to stay that way. All it takes is one little nick from a knife or someone to put a hot pot on the counter, or your sink to start leaking out and peeling up your paper. That's gonna piss you off. So sealing it is a great idea. I used polyurethane because it's what I had. Another trick that helped me was to use clear silicone
caulk
around my sink, just so nothing kind of leaked out from where the handles are or anything like that. So this is the wood contact paper. It looks really good in my opinion. And you can see when I turn it over, the back has this grid on it. A trick I did specifically for mine was to cut one section of this grid and peel the paper off. I would then stick the exposed paper right in the corner of my counter. And it's kind of annoying to peel it off in the center, but I think this was really the easiest way to do it. Here I am just taking the exposed part and kind of folding up a little bit and stick that right in the corner. I feel like the corner was the easiest place to start. Stick it on up there, get your squeegee. Squeege away. I was going up, obviously, in the direction of the wood. Just be careful not to do it like too hard, because you can scrape the paper. So then I just take the rest of it off and squeege up to the corner. Squeegee. What a freak. this is a real thing, the squeegee, you know? So then for the top, I just kind of used my fingers and manipulated it the way I really wanted. And even if it doesn't line up all the way to the wall, it's okay. I would put white caulk there. And as you can see, my ledge there is not even, wasn't my doing. This apartment's just very, very old. So if you have any uneven surfaces, snip the contact paper and you can manipulate it and bend it in different directions. And to do the actual surface of the counter, I'm pulling up a little bit of that paper that's underneath. The corner's all done, the top's all done. Fold it behind there and just squeege away. It's honestly really satisfying. Another tip is when you're rolling down the paper, make sure you pull really taut like that. I mean, look how satisfying that is, oh my gosh. I gotta tell you, the wood looked so good. And now I'm just doing it extra hard on the corners there. You know, after measuring, I saw that I had just enough contact paper to go over the front and just a touch under that ledge there. This is what it looked like immediately after. I was obviously thrilled.
And
I really thought this was a breeze. I thought this was so simple to do. My only other tip here is you need to overlap the paper a little bit. So what you're gonna see is that I rearranged the out of this contact paper because halfway through I can see that it's steering away from the other one. It's not completely straight. And you know, once you've squeegeed this down, you can't necessarily move it. So why the wood is amazing is because you can overlap them and it looks like the natural texture. And for the sink here, this part was a little more difficult, but not really. I started from the top, I measured, and I started to push it down, but could see that, you know, I'm getting some wrinkles here. It might not have been perfectly straight, so I'm getting a lot of air bubbles. So the way to fix this is to cut a little bit with scissors, just like I did on that hump there. You want to cut up with the contact paper, and you can start working with smaller strips individually and move them where you need to move them. So that's exactly what I did, and I made sure I had a little extra so it would, you know, go really flush with the edge of my sink. And then I'm using a box cutter. I would recommend an X-Acto knife. Peeling up that extra paper is just so satisfying. Yeah, baby. God, it looks so good. Look at that. Now, it's important that you seal around your sink because you don't want all that to peel up from water. So I used a clear silicone caulk just all along the edge there, and the contact paper was fine. Even, you know, my sink head exploded, flew off, water got everywhere. And for the corner, I just took a piece and lined it up parallel with the other kind of lines in the wood, and you seriously couldn't notice that. If you did this with another texture, you'd probably see it, I'm not gonna lie, but this was so simple.
oh my God! Wow! Oh my God!
Like I said, I can't recommend this wood one enough. I will link it in the description. It was literally $10 off Amazon. I got 2 rolls, but I had a very big counter. If you've got a small kitchen nook, I think 1 roll would be like plenty for you. It was great. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up.